Titanic was torpedoed near an iceberg to make it look like an accident, to kill all the wealthy that had magically opposed the new federal government. That's what happened, and I'm sure it's buried in the archives in the Library of Congress. Prepare to have your understanding of the unsinkable shattered. JP Morgan possessed a coveted first-class ticket for the Titanic's ill-fated maiden voyage. Yet, fate, or perhaps something more sinister, intervened, causing him to cancel at the 11th hour. Intriguingly, his most formidable financial adversaries remained aboard, destined never to return. Unearth the unsettling truth behind the legend of the Titanic. On the fateful night of April 14th, 1912, the seemingly invincible RMS Titanic succumbed to an iceberg, plunging over 1,500 souls into the icy depths. A tragedy, a maritime catastrophe. Or was it? A growing chorus of researchers dares to suggest a far more calculated demise for the Titanic. A deliberate sinking orchestrated by none other than the towering banking magnate JP Morgan. Imagine this: the most powerful financier of his era allegedly plotted the disaster to seize an unparalleled financial advantage. Consider the Titanic's near-identical twin, the Olympic. A year prior to the tragedy, the Olympic endured a severe collision with the Royal Navy cruiser HMS Hawke, sustaining crippling damage that rendered it uninsurable. Could White Star Line have executed a daring switch, rebranding the damaged Olympic as the Titanic to perpetrate history's most audacious insurance fraud? The chilling blueprint: rechristen the battered Olympic as the Titanic, send it to sea, orchestrate its accidental sinking, and claim the colossal insurance payout. A stretch? Perhaps, but the narrative deepens. JP Morgan wielded immense power as the driving force behind the White Star Line. Simultaneously, he was ruthlessly consolidating his grip on the US financial system through the impending creation of the Federal Reserve. Remarkably, three staunch opponents of Morgan's Federal Reserve agenda were passengers on the Titanic. 1. Benjamin Guggenheim, the influential mining magnate. 2. Isidor Straus, the co-owner of the retail giant Macy's. 3. John Jacob Astor IV, one of the world's wealthiest individuals. None of these powerful dissenters survived the voyage. Meanwhile, JP Morgan, who had secured a first-class passage, mysteriously cancelled his trip at the last possible moment. In 1985, the discovery of the Titanic's wreckage yielded a startling revelation. The hull's metal plating was bent outward, a detail suggesting an internal explosion rather than mere impact with an iceberg. What could have caused such force? Whispers persist of a fire raging within a coal bunker before the Titanic even left port, a hidden vulnerability that could have sealed its fate from the outset. Yet, no thorough investigation was ever conducted. No individual or entity was ever held accountable. The US government and British authorities swiftly closed the case. JP Morgan, in the aftermath, successfully established the Federal Reserve the very next year, cementing his legacy as history's most dominant banker. Definitive proof of a deliberate sinking remains elusive. However, the following facts cast a long shadow of doubt. 1. JP Morgan held dominion over the White Star Line. 2. He abruptly cancelled his voyage at the 11th hour. 3 of his most significant adversaries perished aboard. 4. Troubling inconsistencies plagued the narrative surrounding the Titanic's construction, sinking, and insurance claims. Coincidence? A convenient alignment of improbable events? Or could this be the veiled truth behind one of history's most staggering financial conspiracies? What compels your belief?